Always talk to elderly people. My dad always told me to respect the elderly, and that just a little conversation was the difference between being a little punk and being a very nice kid that people respect and like to talk to. And boy, was he right. I could really understand what he meant last year during football season. When a couple of friends and I walked into Steak and Shake wearing our jerseys, we were seated next to an elderly man sitting by himself, and I could tell just by the way he was staring at us that he wanted to know what we were about. "You teammates?" he asked under his breath. I couldn't understand what he said. "I'm sorry?" I asked, confused. "Played football in prison," he said, grinning. We carried on for what seemed like hours about who we played that day and what our record was. He was a very nice man, and I could tell everyone judged him by his looks. He looked like one of the guys off Duck Dynasty, but without all the money, and when he paid his bill with Smarties, I figured he had nowhere to call home. By then I realized that the little conversation he had with that little high school kid from the football team was the coolest thing that he's had happen to him all week. I don't know if I will ever see him again, or be able to tell him how he did that day, but I do know that I will remember that one day at Steak and Shake for the rest of my life. Most people think that old people are always grouchy and mean, and they are always talking down on you. Now I will be the first to admit that I have experienced those people, but you just need to get to know them. And all they want for you is to show them a little respect. Elderly people have been around and have seen a lot of things, and you can learn a lot from their wisdom. They love the heck out of making a little small talk with strangers and telling them something they didn't know. My grandma says, "It keeps me in the loop with all the hip kids," whatever that means. You are never too cool to just have a little conversation with an elderly person. It's hard to believe you can make a person stay just by doing something so small, but you have to make the right choice to do the right thing. I guarantee if you talk to the right person, you will see what I'm talking about. This I believe.